brave souls to the arena of intellect and passion. This is Duel of the Debates. 9 valiant fighters, both decorated champions and new challengers, will engage in epic battles of wits, defending their opinions in the realms of film and television, all for one single goal: the crown. Each week this month, they will clash over the titles of Best Living Actor, Best Living Actress, and Best Living Director, leading to the ultimate final challenge. Prepare for a spectacle like no other. Let the debates begin.
Welcome to Duel of the Debates, where we are probably going to kill each other. Not really, though, because this is the podcast show. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan. And yes, this is our second part of our 4-part series on the Best of the 21st Century. So today we're doing Best Actress of the 21st Century. We have 3 guests with us today. We have Jade, Sydney, and Hailee. There they are. All right, cool. So, a couple rules before we go over everything else.
We're
not doing rules?
The objective is to convince the judge, me and Dan, why your pick for the question is correct, and the other fighters' picks are wrong and stupid. The rules are the arguments. There needs to be objective reasoning behind why you chose your answer. For example, and this is the only reason I read this every time, John Wick is better because Keanu Reeves looks like my cool band teacher from 8th grade. Not an acceptable argument. Civility. Although we can be passionate, there will be no sincere attacks on people's characters because we're all friends here, guys, right?
Fuck you.
Sure.
Whatever. Objectivity between me and you.
Yeah, you're not a fighter anymore.
When deciding the winner, the decision must be based on the arguments presented in the debate, because we've already had a die-hard issue. Example, I like Danny's pick because he's amazing. Not an acceptable reasoning, even though it is true.
Okay.
Objectively.
Okay.
The times are opening arguments they're going to be a minute and a half, 90 seconds per fighter. Rebuttal arguments are going to be 90 seconds per fighter. There's going to be a free-for-all section where it's just kind of stopped at our discretion.
And we're going to open it up to all of these actresses' movies.
Yes. Okay, because we mentioned to all of you to pick 2 movies per actress to kind of get a feel or, a start point, end point for where the actress is, like their range and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can mention their entire career in the free-for-all section. But back to closing arguments, though, 90 seconds, only those 2 movies.
Yep. All right, and I believe that's all the rules, right?
Yep.
Yeah, then we'll go deliberate, and we will pick a winner. So, without further ado, let's fight. All right, so let's go around the table. Who'd y'all pick? Jade, we're going to start with you.
I picked Emma Stone. Movies too?
Yeah, movies too.
Okay, I picked Emma Stone, I picked Easy A, and then I also picked The Favorite.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I think I caught a chill picking the herbs for your leg.
All right, Sydney.
I picked Sandra Bullock, and I picked Bird Box and The Lost City.
Listen to me. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough.
All right, and Hailee?
I picked Charlize Theron, and I chose Monster and Mad Max Fury Road.
All right. Now, let's get this actually started. So, we're going to start with Jade. You're going to have 90 seconds on the clock for your opening statements.
You're on the clock.
Okay, so I think Emma Stone is the best actress of the 21st century because she has such a wide range. So when we first met her, most of us, it was through Superbad, and she was obviously kind of like a side player, but really stuck out, right? And it really showcased just what she does throughout her entire career, which is that when she's in spaces filled with people who are kind of at the top of their class, she finds a way to make herself kind of stand out and shine. So, for example, with obviously Seth Rogen and then Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, really like comedic juggernauts of their time, she is a standout deadpan comedic actress in that, but also kind of makes you feel for not only her character, but also all the characters around her. She does that throughout all of her movies. And that is just like one side of her career, and her skill set is comedy. She is also a really good dramatic actress, which we'll see in The Favorite, where she can kind of like go back between the two. She's had some flops, but even all of her flops are super fun. I feel like she's only 36 years old. She's an Oscar winner. And I feel like she's been probably, out of the three, the most relevant in the conversation in the last decade. I feel like she is really only starting her career right now, whereas maybe some other actresses are on the tail end of theirs.
All right, very nice. All right. So as you see, I will give you a 30-second, maybe a 10-second, or a wrap. So we'll play it by ear. Because you guys cannot see the timer right now. So, all right. Sydney, whenever you're ready, you're on the clock.
Sandra Bullock stands as the best working actress today, and her performances in Bird Box and The Lost City alone showcase the extraordinary range and depth of her talent. In Bird Box, she delivers a masterclass in restrained, emotionally charged acting. She spends most of the movie blindfolded, hiding her eyes, which many call the windows to the soul. Despite this, Bullock conveys fear, desperation, and love through subtle vocal inflections and physical tension, carrying an entire apocalyptic thriller largely on her own. In sharp contrast, The Lost City highlights her exceptional comedic timing and self-aware charm. As Loretta Sage, Bullock balances absurdity with emotional sincerity, making the character both hilarious and unexpectedly heartfelt. Her ability to anchor such widely different genres, psychological horror and romantic adventure comedy, demonstrates why she's not only versatile, but unmatched in her command of the screen. Through these two performances, Bullock proves she can lead any film, elevate any script, and connect with audiences across tone, style, and emotion, cementing her status as the best actress currently working in Hollywood. I'd also like to note that she has had her career for decades, and she still remains relevant to this day.
All right. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Hailee, whenever you're ready, you're on the clock.
I believe Charlize Theron is the best actress in the 21st century. Monster was an incredible film and has won 3 major awards, including an Academy Award, and because of her performance alone as Eileen Wuornos. And Mad Max Fury Road, I mean, everyone who's watched that movie loves that movie. Action-packed. She's a great female protagonist in it. When you think of Charlize, you think badass. And I'll talk about, like, every film she's in where she is just a badass in the free-for-all, like, segment. But her range is also incredible. I mean, she's been in so many films. She has such a wide filmography. It's incredible. And she is technically under 50 years old, so that's also, like, very, very impressive for Charlize. I would actually call her almost the Johnny Depp of actresses, because there are some films where she just, like, completely manipulate her look. As Eileen Wuornos in Monster, you couldn't even tell that's Charlize. Like, she just did so incredible. But yeah, her look in Mad Max Fury Road is also just so iconic. And it's just like, she's just a badass all around, and her range is incredible.
Perfect. All right, it is time for our rebuttal round. Rebut the claims against your actress and just preserve their legacy. Jade, whenever you're ready.
I'm rebutting the claims that were made against my actress.
Yes.
In other words, just shit all over everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
What claims have been made against my actress?
None.
Well, just, maybe no claims against them yet, but like just go against theirs.
Like, what's wrong with theirs? With their
More
Okay.
against theirs.
Got it.
Got it. Some ammo on why yours isn't the best.
I will not do that. Okay.
All right.
I'm with it. All right. So for the other two actresses, while I do love them, I do feel like for the 21st century, which is ongoing, this is Emma Stone is really in the right place for that. And I would say that because she is so early on in her career that you can really see that it's just like the spark of things, and she has so many places where she can go. Whereas I do feel like, to your point, Charlize Theron is a badass, but you don't really see that amount of range from her. While you can see the different, I guess, natures of her character, she goes for a certain type of character and she plays that very well, but I have yet to see something that I'm shocked by. Sandra Bullock, I am sometimes shocked by her choices, but because sometimes they are bad choices, and that, like, what is it, The Lost
City.
I was going to say Island. That for me is a miss. And that's not to say that she's not a good actress. It's to say that I don't think that she carries that film to the place where I'm like, I am dying to see that. Whereas for me, and I feel like for a lot of other people, Emma Stone is such a leading actress that even though you know something might not be the best, like The Croods or like movie 23, like you still might sign on to it because you know she's going to deliver on something that you're interested in. And I thought I had, and I would also say that it was very early on in Emma Stone's career, even though it's quite young now. It was early on that we saw the range, whereas I would say for Sandra Bullock, you took some time before you saw a different side of her.
Very nice. All right. Sydney, whenever you're ready, you're on the clock.
Well, Emma Stone and Charlize, I was saying Theron. Is it Theron?
I think it is Theron.
Okay, Charlize Theron.
It's hard.
I didn't know who she was before I even started this. While they are praised for their standout roles, their acting in key films reveals notable limitations. In Easy A, Stone leans heavily on charm and wit, but the role feels more like an extension of her real personality than a true transformation. Even in The Favorite, her accent wavers and her emotional shifts can feel very exaggerated, lacking the nuance of her co-stars. Charlize Theron, though known for her transformative roles, sometimes relies, as you were saying, on those physical changes more than emotional depth. In Monster, the performance is gripping, but it can come across as more mimicry than internalized truth. And in Mad Max Fury Road, while she commands the screen, the role is so stoic and sparse that it limits any emotional range. Both actresses are undoubtedly talented, but in these roles, they show more style than substance, raising fair questions about whether they truly embody the emotional complexity that defines Hollywood's greatest performers. Also with Emma Stone, I will say she's early in her career and potential does not equal greatness.
All right. Moving on to Hailee. Whenever you're ready, you're on the clock.
So going back to what Jade said, she actually does have more of a range than you may think. She's been in films. She was the queen in Snow White and the Huntsman. That's a fantasy film. She's been in a couple like rom-coms, like The Long Shot with Seth Rogen, as like the lead. And then she was also in A Million Ways to Die in the West, which I love that movie. That's like a comfort movie for me. But she's hilarious in that. So I know like she's normally a badass, yes, but she has her like comedic roles, like fantasy roles as well. As for Sandra Bullock, I also feel like she's just mainly in like what she's known for is mainly like rom-coms, like The Proposal, and I know Bird Box was like super, like it was very saturated when it came out, and it is a good film. But I feel like when most people think, like the average person thinks Sandra Bullock, they think, oh yeah, she's like the rom-com or like in a comedy.
30.
But yeah, I mean, Charlize didn't win 3 major awards for Monster for nothing. And she did win 2 awards for her performance in Fury Road as well. There's a scene in Fury Road where she realizes her home, where she was trying to go, was gone. Raw emotion. She sits in the sand and she screams up into the sky.
10.
Monster. She's got a very compelling argument scene with Christina Ricci. And I do think she's got quite a bit of emotion in both of those films.
Good timing. All right. Now, we've set our pace with these parts. Let's open up to the free-for-all for all of these actresses' movies. Whenever you guys are ready, just go at it. We'll stop you at our discretion for any questions we may have. So time is yours.
It's crazy that you say that Sandra Bullock is known strictly for rom-com roles because she won an Academy Award for her performance in The Blind Side. Also, her performance in Gravity is unmatched. She spent basically the entire movie by herself. Like, there are very, very few times that there is another actor there with her on the screen. The entire movie is I don't even know how you'd pronounce, like, it's like a sci-fi thriller, sci-fi drama, something like that. But she spends the entirety of the movie pretty much alone. She has no other actor to play off of. And also, because there's more limited dialogue, everything is in her face.
Right.
She
I didn't say
all of her
strictly, by the
emotions
way.
that way.
I didn't say strictly. I just meant to the average person. I feel like when they would think Sandra Bullock, just the average person, not like someone who loves films like everyone on this podcast and like who's doing this podcast, but I just feel like the average person would be like, oh yeah, Sandra Bullock, she's in like The Heat, The Proposal, you know?
Yeah, and does this average person really know who Charlize Theron is? Because I can safely say that I don't know many people who know who she is.
I mean, so I will say, kind of as an argument, an actress, if their acting is so well, do you even know who they are?
I would have to say that something that does constitute a great actress is your screen presence, and she has an amazing screen presence, but also your recognizability, because she is very typecast. It's always this, not always, there are obviously, you know, things that derive from this, but she is, generally speaking, very much an actress who is in these psychological horror, thriller, whatever, but a lot of it has to do with transformative, like her entire appearance, as you said, is changed, but that doesn't speak to her acting at all. That just speaks to the person who's in charge of the movie. Yeah. And she does a good job, but her entire performance relies on her presence. She has a very big presence, but there's no emotional depth to any of the characters that she's like really known for. And also you can say that her, like the genres that she's in differentiate, but like when she plays that's the only movie I have ever seen her in is The Evil Queen and Snow White and the Huntsman. And she plays the same type of character. She's very emotionally distanced. There's not really a depth to her character except that she's the evil queen, which is
I do
something
recommend you
that
watch
people
Monster then.
I
think you would definitely
think
see that she does have emotional depth and she can
I've
play
seen
that role.
scenes from it and I don't get that from her.
Wait, y'all didn't watch the movie? That was the whole.
I did, and what I would say is this.
I'm sorry, I don't have the time.
What I would say is this. That's an excellent performance, and I don't think anyone can actually debate that. I think the aspect is like, is she consistent throughout, and has she been good in all of her performances would be a question that I would ask, and I would ask that of Sandra Bullock as well. And I would say the same thing in terms of an argument of like, okay, this is not not being a nuanced actress. I think that's a criticism that you could have of Sandra Bullock too. While she has been in different types of movies, she pulls from the same bag very often, right? Like Bird Box is a very similar performance to the psychological thriller that she was in when it was going the same day over day. I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's very frustrating. It's with the actor who just died, who's also in Charmed, and she's reliving the same day over and over again where her husband is dying, and it's just a very similar set of skills that she's pulling from, where she's just kind of frantic, and it's good, but it's not anything groundbreaking. And she does the same thing in the movie that she's in with Keanu Reeves, the Lake House or something like that, where it's also got a weird time element. It's a very familiar performance in that way. Miss Congeniality is a very similar and familiar performance to The Proposal, which is very similar to, I would say, even the Island movie, where she's kind of playing this rigid character. The Blind Side was something different for her, and that was her award-winning role. But I think a lot of people feel that that wasn't the right movie to win that year, and that they don't think that it's a great performance. And I think that accent is kind of whack. So that's how I feel about that. So I feel like that criticism can be laid upon her as well. It's just that like there is a limited range.
Glare, holy crap.
Well, no, I'm just typecast. You want to talk about typecasting? Emma Stone
fine.
is she is very typecast. She's always the trying to remember what I wanted to say here because there was so much in my brain. She's always like endearing, wry, slightly offbeat in a lot of her roles, which, while appealing, it can become a creative limitation, I guess. She sometimes brings the same emotional tone or personality into very different characters. Like, it always feels like she's still a version of herself, while Bullock, she really disappears into those roles from what I've witnessed and from what many critics have also argued. She doesn't, unlike Charlize Theron, she doesn't have those transformative or physically demanding roles. Bullock has both. You guys are being very silent.
I didn't know if you wanted me to jump in.
I actually have a question. So, Sydney, you say how Sandra Bullock is kind of like, what's the word you used? She disappears into the roles. Can you talk more about The Lost City and Bird Box and how she disappears into those roles, actually, a little bit?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to hear about that. I hear more about that.
Yes, I could do that.
I could.
I just want to hear about that.
If I had to.
Yeah, so with The Lost City, she is playing. So the reason that I chose both of these movies is because they're extremely different roles. In the one, she's a mother figure who's just trying to protect her children against these monsters that have basically killed everyone in the world. And you can't even see them. Like, she, again, wears a blindfold the entire time, and acting without your eyes, showing that emotion is extremely difficult. Like, people say the most recognizable feature of a human is their eyes, because that's what shows most emotion in people. So she relies on slightly quivering her lip, all of these other very subtle emotional things, and she really disappears into that. Like, she feels that emotion in her soul, and you can see that. It doesn't seem like acting. It seems more like she's becoming that person. She feels like she is in that situation herself. The Lost City, it's a very, very different role, and that's why I chose it, because that one is more reliant on comedic timing and all of these other things. But again, throughout, there is an emotional depth to the movie outside of the comedy of it, where, again, you see that she feels those emotions. And that's why I chose her in all of her movies, because she's also my favorite actress out of all of them. I told Danny, I said, I won't choose any other person. Like, take me out of the debate if I can't choose her. And I don't know, I don't see that from the other actresses mentioned, because it seems like they're acting, which is their career.
Well, right. Do you feel like Sandra Bullock seems very much like she's in that situation because she's kind of in that situation in Bird Box, like she's literally blindfolded? Like, obviously she's not like in the actual danger, but like it's also a credit to the movie, the script, and this like stage design of like putting her in that element. Yeah,
but you can make that argument for your actresses.
But that's your argument, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, your argument is that like she's like seeming immersed in it, and she is pretty much immersed in it.
And he specifically mentioned the two movies that I brought up, but also she does this in many other roles. I was specifically talking about those two. In Gravity, it's the same thing. Like, there's a layering to her emotions. You can see it, because there's always at least a duality to emotions that humans feel. Like, a lot are brought on by other emotions that you have, and you can kind of see that layering that she does, and she also does that in The Blind Side. There's like the one scene where she says, "Don't lie to me," and that's literally her entire thing, but you can see everything in her face.
100%. But I feel like even for that, right, like there is just a level of emotion that we have as viewers, and a lot of those elements are situational, right? Whereas like you can very much put yourself in her place. So there is that aspect of it. Whereas I feel like with some of Emma Stone's roles, specifically the favorite I have no connection to that setting, that time period, or the relationships that are going on, but I still very much receive and feel what she is feeling and trying to kind of like broadcast onto us. And then I would say that Easy A is a little bit more relatable, but I think it's a different, I picked it because it's a very different kind of movie that I feel like at the time was very novel for her to be a breakout actress and carry that movie the way she did as a narrating actress rather than just actually being in the movie. I feel like is a skill set in and of its own. And so that one is more relatable, but I chose it for different aspects.
Yeah. My whole thing with Emma Stone is she's yet to deliver a truly definitive, career redefining, dramatic role. Something like, it's something that like many great actresses possess multiple times over. Sandra Bullock has delivered that because she's had that time, and it's unfortunate that Emma Stone hasn't had that time, and she can still prove herself as being one of the best actresses in Hollywood, but it hasn't happened yet. And as I said earlier, potential does not equate to greatness.
While she still has potential, and I keep saying that, she is already established. I mean, La La Land is a definitive performance that is an award-winning performance, as is Poor Things, as is The Favorite.
Yeah, in La La Land, some critics argue that the performance, while charming and well acted, it was not technically, it was not emotionally demanding. As roles played, or it wasn't as emotionally demanding as roles played by other actresses that year.
Sure.
In Hollywood.
But it's also a different genre.
And yet still she won it, right? In terms of like people, whether critics agree or not, people enjoyed the movie, and I don't think anyone has anything bad to say about her performance. If you're saying it's like not demanding, it's like, okay, fair enough, but she still performs the well. She does what is asked of her in the script, and she does it well.
Mm-hmm. Question: did Emma Stone win any Academy Awards? I genuinely don't know.
She did win for. I want to say that she won for La La Land, but not specifically actress. And then I am forgetting, but
I will double check right now.
No, she did. That was the year that the Moonlight.
Yeah. I know she won for the movie, but I didn't know if it was the performance.
I think she won for Poor Things as well, right?
And she won for Poor Things. I knew that. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. But I thought La La Land was her favorite.
Well, the whole problem with that like mix up was that Warren Beatty got the
cards
best
wrong,
actress
right?
card that said Emma Stone La La Land on it. That's why he read La La Land.
Yep.
But it was Moonlight that won.
Right.
Yep. And yeah, she was nominated for The Favorite as well.
But didn't win. Or yeah, exactly. She did win that one.
Yeah. Well, this was supporting as well. So yeah, she's not ever supporting actress.
Which, like, yeah, she's having her time right now, and I hear the argument of her not having been in the field for as long, but I just think that is a testament to the fact that, yes, while there is potential, she is already established.
I was going to say, my thing about Emma Stone, I know she is a good actress. I feel like a lot of her roles, at least when she first started, she's kind of more supporting than leading, which is fine to establish. But within the whole 21st century, like, I feel like the first, 10 years, she's more of a supporting before, I'm guessing Easy A was maybe where she really shined as a leading.
Yeah, which was pretty early on in her career, I would say. And I also think being the best actress is we're not arguing the Oscar category, right? Being the best actress of the century, I think also plays into being a supporting actress, right? Can you be a part of an ensemble cast? Can you lead a film? Can you be a side character? Can you be in TV? Can you be on stage? Which she can do all of those things, by the way, and she has.
Start talking more.
What else you got?
What else you got? Yeah, I just want to hear a little more. We haven't talked about her.
I have plenty. I just got to organize my thoughts. I just have to organize my thoughts.
Well, I can kind of go in deeper to exactly what awards she's won for the two films. As we know, an Academy Award for Best Leading Actress in Monster. Mm-hmm. She won a SAG Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Acting in a Leading Role, and a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Drama. And she won 2 awards for her role in Mad Max Fury Road as well, an MTV Movie Award for Best Female Performance and a Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Actress in an action movie. So, I mean, my 2 picks, Monster's drama. Yep. It's crime, it's thriller, it's drama, it's almost entirely documentary based. And then you got Mad Max Fury Road, which is action. Those are two very different genres. And I know, like, she's more known for her action roles. Like, she's in Bombshell, and that's kind of like no, that's not an action. Sorry. That's not an action. I was thinking of, I was thinking of Atomic Blonde. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking of Atomic Blonde. But Bombshell, she's a badass, where, like, she's like a stick it to the man kind of way. Not like action, but like, she's like, hey, I'm like a strong female presence.
Oh, she's a very strong female presence. I will agree with that. But I don't think she can play those softer roles. That's the thing. Like, I don't think she's necessarily capable of doing that in a film that will go somewhere too, like become popular. She always plays these tough, emotionally closed off characters, which it ends up feeling repetitive. It really does. And she plays it very well. But as I said earlier, she very much heavily relies also on the transformative aspect of her movies and her just dominating presence altogether. Like, she's more physicality, like physically there, than emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I would just say, I think another part, like another skill of being an actress is picking the right movies. And I would say, I think Charlize Theron is actually a really great actress. I would argue that she has really poor choice in movies. Like, those movies are fantastic, right? Like, those are great roles. But what is she coming out with now? What is this? The new movie that's coming out on Netflix? The Old Guard 2. Like, right, the Bombshell.
Hold on.
Okay.
I love the first Old
All right. It's bad, though. Like, it's fun, but it's bad. It gives me the same vibe as, what was the other movie that they had on Netflix with it has James Franco's brother in it, and they're like racing around Dave Franco, and they're racing around all the cities.
Yeah, I know.
Is it a Michael Bay movie or something?
Nerve, right?
No. It's like a Michael Bay movie or something. I think it actually has Ryan Reynolds in it too. Whatever. I digress. It's a similar vibe where it's a fun action movie. That's fine, but it's not good.
I feel like a lot of what she does is she chooses style over substance. She likes the style of a movie, but maybe there's not that much there. She has been in so many movies that have received awful reviews, but she's always trying to play that same character.
Right. And she's fine in them. I would wonder if she's interested in being the best actress, is what I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, she's picking roles that are fun and cool for her, and that's fine, but like, it doesn't seem like the motivation it
doesn't seem like she challenges herself because again, while those roles are difficult to play, she's very good at playing that one type of role, but she doesn't challenge herself or try to move on from it, which, like, you can say something different for both of our actresses. And yes, I guess I'm throwing Emma Stone a bone here, but like, she's done it once with The Favorite. Some critics argue that her co-stars led way better performances than her.
I mean, some people would argue that, sure, but I mean, when you're stacked against Olivia Colman and Rachel Weisz, it's like, that still probably means you gave a pretty
But if you're a
good
great
performance.
actor, if you're the best actress, though, you should be able to shadow.
She was the supporting actress in that movie.
Even a supporting role, if you're the best actress, you should be able to overshadow.
And I think most people walk away, while they might say those performances are good. I mean, that's an Emma Stone movie through and through. No one's saying that's an Olivia Colman movie. Even though she is basically the star, no one's saying that's a Rachel Weisz movie. They say it's an Emma Stone movie.
All right. I think that is where we are going to stop the free-for-all section. We are going to move on to our closing arguments. Yes.
I did not need to write 3,600 words for this then. Jeez, I have so much I didn't even bring up.
Yeah, you write arguments and then counter arguments to what you think a counter argument is going to be.
Yeah, then I write a counter argument. I'm like, oh, this person could argue against it this way.
Nobody mentioned
so this is how I'll read
See, that gives me anxiety. I'm anxious just thinking about that.
I feel prepared. I feel very
that makes me feel like when I
get
prepared, I feel like I get like, this is just, now I'm like.
You see how I was like a little flustered?
You can get lost for sure.
I had so many notes.
Jade, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
90 seconds on the clock whenever you're ready.
I am ready.
All right.
Okay. I feel like Emma Stone is the best actress of the 21st century, and if not just like a defining one at that. Like, I think that she just has such a wide wide category of roles that we can choose from here, but I think that the two that I showcase really do show that she is dynamic. She can command a screen. She has comedic chops. She has comedic timing. She has dramatic chops. I would say for The Favorite, we didn't get to talk about it a lot, but like in that one movie, you really see a range of her performances there. You would say the same thing for Easy A, where it's like, yes, it's funny and there's brevity and she's really kind of like hitting us with the laughs. But at the end of The Favorite, number one, mind numbing. You don't know what's going on. But number two, you really feel like you know that she's made the wrong choice. And I feel like a real person throughout the whole movie, you don't really know where her motivations are or where she's at, where it's like you think that maybe she is playing coy and she's really smarter than she is, or she's not as smart as she is, or you think that she has been gaming the queen the whole time, right? And I just feel like that right there, right at the end where you're like, she is questioning all of her choices, is just like, that's where you can see kind of the depth of her dramatic skills. I would say for Easy A, again, like there is just no other actress, not only within this category, but like within the ones that I'm thinking of who can play that role. Like, and I would say for both of those, I could see other actresses playing those roles easily.
All right, nicely done. Sid, whenever you're ready, you are on the clock.
While Emma Stone and Charlize Theron have delivered notable performances, their work often highlights their limits. Stone's roles in Easy A and The Favorite rely heavily on charm and external flair, but lack the deep emotional transformation seen in great dramatic performances. Theron's turn in Monster and Mad Max Fury Road are visually striking, yet often lean more on physicality or mimicry than layered, internalized acting. Sandra Bullock, on the other hand, has spent over 3 decades proving her range. In Bird Box, she portrays maternal strength and emotional trauma with subtlety and without the ability to convey emotions through her eyes. In The Lost City, she balances emotional depth with perfect comedic timing. She excels in hardened thrillers and softened rom-coms, easily conforming to whichever the movie requires.
30.
Of the 3, only Bullock consistently disappears into her roles across genres, eras, and tones, making her not just the most versatile, but the most endearing and emotionally resonant actress of them all. And I will also say that, again, her career has spanned decades.
10.
My brain is over.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I did it all.
All good.
I had other things I needed to bring up, but I'm tapping out.
All right. Hailee, whenever you're ready, you're on the clock.
Charlize Theron, again, like, people, if they haven't, they need to see Monster to see her truly convey emotion, raw emotion, as someone, like, none of us probably ever knew who Eileen Wuornos, like, was at the time before she passed away. But watching Charlize as Eileen in Monster, like, I felt like, okay, that's probably what Eileen went through, even though, like, she's not a great person, as we know. Like, that's just struggle, emotion. Like, I do really believe she does just diverse into that. And I know she plays a lot of stoic roles, a lot of strong, independent women roles, which is fine. And maybe there were times where she did challenge herself, maybe films that I haven't seen with her in it, and maybe
30.
They didn't do so well. So maybe that's why she does the roles that she does. And Mad Max Fury Road, I mean, there are key moments where she's maybe not saying anything, but she is still feeling the emotion. She is saving those the women from the, like, evil king, whatever he's technically called. And, like, that's just, it's powerful. She's just got raw emotion when she realizes, like, my home is gone.
All right. Danny and I are going to go deliberate real quickly outside. And,
Outside?
yeah, so we can cue Sean to come in for the next one.
All right, he's out there?
Yeah.
We did it.
That was a lengthy discussion.
It was
and
I gotta say, everybody, like, just looking at the pure pros and cons on my list, the number of notes even across the board. Each one had like the same amount of pros, same amount of cons for all three of these. Very well fought, very well articulated. So I'm just going to run down the list in no particular order. So we're going to start off with Emma Stone. Greatest points were that she can stand out from the crowd as an ensemble. She, her being in Superbad as an ensemble got her the leading role in Easy A. She also has versatility in movies, TV, and plays, and awardsy kind of accolade-y movies. But she kind of just plays herself a lot of the time.
She gets typecast in the offbeat role.
Yeah, she's the quirky girl next door. And she started supporting, and she doesn't have many leading roles just yet. But she has potential. With Charlize Theron, under 50 and having that diverse of a career is definitely an achievement. She's able to manipulate her look, really become the characters, like specifically Eileen Wuornos. She's won the most awards out of, I think, of all these actresses right now. And she chooses interesting characters over successful movies, which is more about the acting instead of the success of her career. But, she's really known to general audiences for just being a badass. Which is fucking awesome, but and yeah, Sydney's right. She does rely a lot on the physical change,
which is not bad. Like that's what Christian Bale does. I mean, he does that in every single movie he's in. So,
yes.
So does Johnny Depp, guys.
And Johnny Depp.
Yes.
So
You're embarrassing.
But also another point. She plays emotionally closed off in almost everything. So she kind of has the same trick that she's doing over and over. It's a very good note. Don't get me wrong.
makes money.
It does make, yeah. On to Sandy. She has, she has range. She has range. And I think the greatest kind of segment or note out of all of these was that she, specifically in Bird Box, she forgoes the actor's greatest tool with her eyes. Like that's a very good point. Mm-hmm. She's had a very long career. She won an Oscar. She carried an entire movie by herself. And she's probably the most well-known out of all these actresses right now. But she has some bad choices, specifically one that Sydney chose with Lost City. That was kind of a miss.
I just love that movie.
But it is
I love it so
it's another
much.
side of her. It's a comedic side of her, which kind of
Yes.
shows her versatility.
She got that whack accent in Blindside.
I didn't talk about Blindside.
Uses the same tricks in each genre. So she can do different genres, but it is kind of, she's pulling from the same bag of tricks for each one. And Bird Box relies a lot more on the behind-the-scenes writing than the acting, I think, in a lot of ways. But so those are all the points. But I think we came to a decision. I think Sandy's going to take it.
Listen to me. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough.
Sandy's going to take it.
Yes, because it's the foregoing the blindness or the eyes is a great point.
The blind
and
side.
She's the only actress. Ironically, not a different movie.
Side.
And also, she carried an entire movie by herself. Like
Gravity.
Yes.
Gravity was by herself.
I didn't watch Gravity until I started doing research on her, and I was like, this is actually insane because I had no clue
It is incredible.
that she carries the entire movie by herself.
I hate space movies, so I was out on it.
They're
all the
What
same
about
one.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
I mean,
Jade?
that's obviously
Yeah,
fun.
you
but
probably wouldn't like it,
Lost
Dave.
in Space. No, I've seen it. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
It's just like it's very atmospheric.
I'm a space
yeah, I
nerd.
get it.
I love space.
No, I
So
get
space
it.
movies to
If
me
you're
just
into it, you're
hit
into it. I get it.
All right, so congratulations, Sydney. You are moving
You're
on
one
to the next
step
round.
closer
Oh,
to the
great.
crown.
I have to do
So-
more research.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
All right.
Sure.
But we're Duel the Debates. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with @Duel the Debates. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterbox, and serialize that DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Would anybody
about-
like to use the plug their stuff?
Plug their social medias. Anybody.
I'm on social media again. Instagram @with your host.
So you're always back
All right.
and forth with that.
I am. I'm back though.
She's back.
You still don't want to find me on social media.
Love it. Hailee, do we
That's
want
a
to find
threat.
you on social media?
Nah, I'm pretty boring.
All right. Love it. Next time, we will discuss the best director of the 21st century. Until then, we'll see you next time.